Okay, kid. This is where it gets complicated.
Welcome to the Free Thought Frontier, and I'm your host, Bill Stone. As my longtime viewers know, I've had plans for years to purchase a piece of family ranch land in very rural South Dakota on which to retire. And until my mother passed away about a year ago, I didn't have the money for this. However, due to the fact that she and my father had scrimped and saved for their entire lives, I had an inheritance that now allows me to do so. So thanks, Mom and Dad. I'll always miss you. I certainly hope that you imparted enough wisdom before you passed that I can continue to make the videos that I sometimes feel you watching over my shoulders. So, okay, kids, here's where it gets complicated. On Thursday of this week, I'm headed to Rapid City, South Dakota to buy the property. Well, sort of buy the property. After all, kids, this is where it gets complicated. The ranch land is actually owned by the Davis Homestead Reserve, LLC. And on this land is a log cabin built by my great-grandfather that is now over 100 years old. In fact, my grandmother had it officially declared a South Dakota historical monument. My grandmother created the corporation to maintain ownership of the land and the cabin within my family, and that is precisely what I'm going to do. I currently own one share in the corporation, which I inherited from my father. The other shares are owned by two blood uncles, a blood aunt, and an aunt who is a widow to a blood uncle that originally owned the share. I will be purchasing two shares owned by one of my blood uncles and an aunt, giving me a 3/5 majority ownership in the corporation. And I ultimately expect to purchase my other aunt's share, but there are extenuating circumstances right now that make it kind of impossible. With majority control of the corporation, I will be in a position to make minor changes to the property and live there for the rest of my life. However, this will affect my channel in the near term, possibly even in a positive way. I've looked into renovating the cabin to be habitable, but it's very cost prohibitive. The original chinking, that is the stuff that goes between the logs that's insulated it, are now all but gone, making it really totally uninhabitable. I'd freeze to death in the winter, so I'd have to have all of that replaced. It also has no running water. And while I'm early Gen X and have a great deal of experience drinking water from the garden hose, having a shower and a bathroom is rather important to me at this point. I'd have to make an addition to the cabin and then run everything in, and that's expensive too. Electricity was a complete afterthought. Again, this was 100 years ago. The electricity that's run in there now isn't something you'd really want to have. To really renovate it, you'd want to totally rewire it internally. The doors and the windows have deteriorated, and they're anything but standard size. I'd need to have those replaced by somebody who does that sort of custom work. And there's no foundation. The floor is just wood over dirt. So to really make it habitable, I need to have it put up on jacks and some kind of foundation poured. So as much as I'd like to show you regularly a real interior of a real log cabin in my videos, that's just not in the cards. I very well may take you through it as sort of a travel vlog, but I will not be living in it, and it won't look like this behind me. So instead of all that, I'm bringing in a single-wide trailer home that is far more suited to my preferred creature comforts. It won't be large, but then how much does a single MGTOW male in the middle of nowhere need in order to live? And in any case, I've been living pretty Spartan since my 2000 divorce, so there's really no change there. I'll still be making YouTube videos, but the biggest difference is that I'll no longer use a green screen. The background that you see behind me will be the real interior of that home. However, while all of this is going on, my content may change. I don't know if I'll have time to do my usual shows. If I do, I will. It might be that shows start getting recorded and edited on my phone, and they may become less scripted. You might see me in a motel room. You might see footage of the property and what I'm doing there. My content may very well change to some extent to be more like a travel vlog. All I know is that for a while, kids, this is where it gets complicated. Now, I would deeply appreciate it that if I hold a live stream from a motel room, please drop in, as you always have. If I'm suddenly posting videos of scenery with me narrating my way through it, keep watching those videos, just as you've done my other videos. And also, of course, let your friends, family, neighbors, pets, and livestock know what I'm up to. And who knows, maybe I'll get additional viewers who like travel vlogs and will be interested in what I'm doing. But whatever you do, I implore you to remain watching. You are an extremely loyal and intelligent audience, and I'd hate to lose you because things get complicated. And that's all I have to say about that. I would love to keep the conversation going, so please like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and leave me plenty of comments. I do not engage on social media because it messes with the dopamine system in your brain and creates an addictive information-seeking loop that keeps you constantly glued to your phone. But I do monitor my YouTube video comments very closely, and I will engage you here, even if I'm doing it from a phone in a motel room. Share me on social media if you use social media, which you shouldn't because it messes with the dopamine system in your brain and creates an addictive, information-seeking loop that keeps you constantly glued to your phone. So thanks for watching The Free Thought Frontier, and I'm your host, Bill Stone.
Ultimate power in this world has always been one simple thing: the control and manipulation of minds.